We're gonna adjust now that we're live.
We're live. We're live. Hi, I'm Rita Monroe, and welcome to Power Up. It's so glad to see you. We're here at La Taza Coffee House, and we're going to be talking today about your energy and your power. And actually, we're going to be talking about financial stuff. This is the beginning this is the beginning of 2019. And you know what? Sometimes we spend a little bit too much on Christmas. So one of the things we have to do is really start thinking about our financial situation. And today I have Jennifer Falloon with us. She's from Happy Homes Now, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what she does and how your financial situation really affects your emotional health. So we're going to talk about financial health, emotional health. We're going to talk about those things here today. So again, I'm Rita Monroe. This is Power Up. Power Up is a Facebook Live show that I host every 2 weeks, and we really look at your physical strength, your emotional strength, your mental strength, because it's all about energy. You know, energy is power. Your energy is your power. And when your energy is low, your power is low. When your power is low, what happens? You can't do anything. You don't want to do anything. You don't feel like doing anything. And you really feel powerless. So I come to you every 2 weeks with a few tips and strategies and a guest to talk to you about your power. So let's get started. Again, I said I was Rita Monroe. This is Jennifer Falloon. Jennifer is a very good friend of mine, and she is from Happy Homes Now, and I'm going to let her tell you about Happy Homes Now because I can't tell you as well as she can tell you. Okay, so take it away, Jennifer. Tell us a little bit about what Happy Homes Now is, what you guys do, and then we're going to get a little bit into the importance of our financial health and how it affects our emotional health. So tell them what Happy Homes Now is.
Well, thank you for having me. Very exciting. Happy Homes Now, we are the housing crisis solution experts. So we actually help rescue people from foreclosure. They don't have to go through the foreclosure process. There are lots of options for them, and we educate them on what those options are. We buy houses that have been in horrible disrepair or they've been abandoned altogether. We fix those up when we can, and we sell them to homeless and disabled veterans when the VA allows. When they don't, we actually sell those to somebody that cannot get a traditional mortgage. They have bad credit, no credit, and there's just, they just need that boost to get them, restored. And we also do credit repair, and we pay $500 for referral leads. So we love when leads come to us. Anybody that's needing help. They don't even have to be in the foreclosure process, but if they're headed that way, the sooner we can, cut that off and get them help, the better.
Yeah. And you were speaking about people who are in just kind of different situations. One of the things that we experienced when we moved here from Cincinnati a couple of years ago was everybody, no matter, we were trying to rent something, and your credit report really plays a critical point in everything now. Getting insurance,
a job.
A job.
A lot of employers now will run a credit report. And if you have a foreclosure or a bankruptcy, you're not getting that job. And so it is very important. So, and it's a 10-year nightmare that is completely preventable. You don't have to do it. So just stop that, and then there are ways where we can repair your credit. We have a credit repair service, but there are other options based on terms when we're working with anybody in foreclosure that we can help build their credit back up. And we make sure everybody has cash in our pocket. Our business philosophy, it's win-win. If it's not win-win, it's not a good deal, and we don't do it. So we make sure our people are very well taken care of. We find them other affordable housing. We pay moving expenses, and we make sure that we don't rob them of all their equity. And they get to walk away with cash in their pocket, and they walk away happy, and they're appreciative.
Yeah, and that's I think people do find themselves in a situation to where maybe their home is in disrepair, and you know that really puts an emotional cloud over your head when you have such a large financial a financial piece that is in disrepair. You know, your home, you're paying for it, or maybe even if it's paid for already, but you just can't do the repairs on it. And sometimes we just want something new, right?
Right, yeah, and a lot of times it's funny to me because we can give them something nicer than they're in.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so, you know, they're really upset to leave their home, and I get that, but I'm like, oh, but we could put you somewhere so much nicer.
Yeah. Well, you know, times are changing, and having realtors, the traditional, oh, I'm going to sell my house by a realtor or whatever, that doesn't always work for people. Right, and if it doesn't work for you, then what do you do? Do you sit around and talk about how you can't get something done, or how this is against you, or that's against you, or what am I going to do with this? Do you sit around and do that, or do you get some information and get moving? And that's something that I think is real important. This is a brand new year. When we think of New Year's, we should be thinking forward. We should be thinking forward because you're going to take that emotional health that you have right now, or that you had at the end of the year, and you're going to push it forward into next year. Now, if you weren't feeling very well about your financial situation, you're going to move that into 2019. So what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to feel very well.
You have to break that.
Mm-hmm, you do. You have to break that emotional strain on you. You have to break it. Mentally. When you get in a situation to where you're not sure what you're doing, mentally you begin to shut down. Okay, so that's when you need to contact people who aren't shut down.
Well, and here's the thing. You know, you can look up anything. You can Google anything, and empower yourself to take action over. Don't let your finances and your debt control you. You control it. Okay, and we've all had, you know, financial issues at one time or another.
Right.
Be proactive. Google what your options are. You know, and be careful who you work with. Know, like, and trust the person that you work with, because there are plenty of, you know, people out there selling snake
charlatans.
oil.
Yeah.
So be careful, and that's, you know, kind of how investors get a bad name, and it's not like that. You know, you have one or two bad apples, and, you know, it spoils the rest of us. So really know who you're working with, but look for things. You know, look up, you know, like financial freedom. There are tons of churches all over America that will give free financial freedom classes.
Right.
You know, there are other things you can do. You know,
Right.
look into various credit repair options. You know, our credit repair, there is no contract. So when your credit is where you want it, you can quit. You know, we offer a debt attorney, or a credit attorney, 24/7. You have access to that. You know. Dispute your own. Get a credit report and dispute it yourself. Dispute everything on there. So there are things you can do, and it makes you feel like you're in control.
Right. Now that disputing thing, though, we actually went through that about 10 years back, and went through the dispute process. Let me tell you, you can do it yourself, but if you have someone that really knows what they're doing, that's probably the best route to go, because we don't, you know, like you said, we can Google everything, but there's this thing called overwhelm. Okay, there's this thing called overwhelm. So you get in there and you say, okay, I'm gonna work on my financial situation, and you start Googling things and you start looking into things, and then you go, squirrel, and you're off
Right.
doing this and you're off doing that. And in a week or so, you sit back and you say, wow, I got a lot of information, but I didn't really do anything for myself. And so that's where sometimes you need to seek out someone to just put your thoughts in order, you know, and give you just give you some actionable steps that you can take, some things that make sense for you to do, and then some things that they can do for you. So it's really good to Google and get some info, figure out where you think you might want to go, and then you need to really talk to someone else. I'm not saying that you got to get a professional, but you need to talk to someone else so that you can get a different perspective. How great is perspective?
It
I
is
mean, a
phenomenal.
second perspective.
Because sometimes the obvious is right in front of you, and you just can't
And
see
you
it.
can't see
or,
it.
or maybe you just need to hear the hard truth that you don't want to, you don't want to say to yourself.
Right, right.
And-
Give up the house or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, but there are so many options, and I think just people don't understand that there are options. There are things you can do to take control. And once you start to feel like you're taking control and you're actually implementing it, your thought process, I mean, your shoulders go back, your spine,
You stand
stiffens
up a little
You're,
straighter. You feel a little bit more powerful. You do. You do. You feel a little bit more powerful, where you can actually take over your life, maybe then that spills over into another area of your life where you decide, oh, well, if I can make a change here, I can make a change there. So it's really all about your mental and your emotional health. When you start saying, I'm going to take care of this and get this in order, that's one of the things that you really want to be able to do. Because nothing is going to change for 2019 until you actually make a change in 2019. So sometimes what we do is we get back and we say, oh, well, I don't want to let anybody know I'm in this situation. I don't want to let friends or family know that maybe I didn't do a very good job with, what I'm doing. Well, you're more courageous if you stand up and say, you know what, I made a mistake. There's nothing wrong with saying that I failed. Because when you say you haven't failed, you don't open up any opportunity to do anything else. Failure there's nothing wrong with failure. It's whether or not you get back up. And if you hide behind your situation, that is not getting back up.
And when you talk to people, maybe they know a good investor, maybe they've been through it and they can help educate you. And then you can educate somebody. There's somebody else that you can help. And the other thing is, and I don't believe it failed unless you repeated the mistake or you didn't learn from it.
Right.
Because, if you can learn from some mistakes and help other people and never, do that again and actually build yourself up and have, a wealthy, career, something that you love to do because you learned from this bad mistake back here, I mean, it's worth it.
Right. And put
You
yourself
do
on
it, get all the
another
bad
path.
stuff out of the way so you can grow.
Right. Put yourself on a different path. You're standing there. You might be standing there right now saying, okay, well, I do have this financial situation going on, or I would like to get rid of this house or whatever. And you're at a crossroads. Okay, if you just continue to stand at that crossroad, nothing is going to change. You have to take a path. Even if you take a path that's a little bit harder than another one, once you take action, that empowers you to take more action. It's really about movement. Movement is power. Power is movement. Okay, so it's about moving into something else, making a decision. Decisions are very, very important in our life. We have to make them. Now, we've been talking about you having issues, okay? But what if you decide, okay, I've got all this money and I really would like to invest, but I don't know what to invest in. the same thing applies. Get a little information and then go talk to somebody. Real estate, here's the thing I look at as far as real estate is concerned, and I'll let her tell you about their investment opportunities. But real estate is something that everybody needs, especially here in San Antonio. Do we have a housing crisis here in San Antonio?
There are more people moving into San Antonio than we have housing for. And yeah, it's an epidemic.
And trying to find somewhere, a rental place that is can fit into your budget.
Right, sometimes it's affordable. It's crazy in San Antonio. The unaffordability and the price, that's been jacked up on silly one bedrooms.
So if you're an investor and you have some money that you would like to put to work, is real estate a good deal?
It's the only good deal, because a good real estate investor is going to pay you 8 to 12%. We pay 15%, which is really funny, because I talked to a guy the other day and he's like, oh yeah, I lend somebody $800,000, but I'm getting 12% interest, and I'm like, we'd have paid 15. So find a good an investor that will put your money to work for you. Make sure that you're getting first lien on the property. If you're not getting first lien, it's probably not a good deal. And maybe, because there are some, good deals that you're second lien, and that could be okay too. It just depends how it's structured. And make sure that the insurances and the contracts are good and legal. Do your own due diligence on the property. Make sure it isn't going to be a good property. But if you're working with an investor that you know, like, and trust, they're going to put your money to good work for you.
Know, like, and trust.
So important.
Yeah. And I know her. I like her and I trust her. But I can tell you she has a lot of compassion for people also. And sometimes you can get into situations to where there is no real compassion in that relationship, that financial relationship. But really, if you have a home or you have finances, money that is just kind of sitting around, the bank's not going to give you anything.
No, and it's comical because, what do you make in your savings account? 1-2%. The stock market, even if you're, you can't trust the stock market, and it's, dipping and flowing. Your 401k, maybe 4%. Why would you not, invest in your own personal wealth and double that? Not to mention you could quadruple it. And so it kind of is a little bit comical to me. It's like, if I had $4 in this hand and I had $15 in this hand, which would you pick? Nobody would pick the $4. So, why are you doing that with your finances stuck in an account making 4%?
Right.
You can make 15%.
And that you can't do anything with. If you buy a CD, that CD is sitting there. It's got to stay there for a year, 2 years, or whatever before you can put
and you're
anything on
getting
it.
your cash. The terms, we always work with terms. And then you just recycle that money. So you take your interest and you can go play or, put it somewhere else, but you can recycle that money. So your money is always working for you. You're always making that 8 to 15%.
So that is, that's some things to think about. Again, this is 2019. My question for you is, what are you thinking about? What are you doing, and what do you want? Now in January we do all of this goal setting, and goal setting is great, and I think that is fantastic. But what I would like for you to do, I'm a life change strategist and a coach for women. So what I would like for you to do is stop the goal setting right now. It's great, and we'll get back to it. But start getting a vision of what success looks like for you. And I did a video on this yesterday about success. Part of our issue with success is we get into situations to where we let other people speak into us. They tell us what to do, where to go. And our success, our relationships, our personal worth and wealth and happiness is built off of what other people have told us is success. and what it looks like. But one of the things that we don't do for ourselves is we don't stop and really get a clear picture of what success is going to look like for us. And the reason, and then we can't go out and make that happen. And that's what happens to some, and it may have happened to you in 2018. You really didn't reach the goals or have the success that you wanted to have because you didn't have a clear picture of it at the beginning of 2018. So how can you make it happen by the end of 2018 if you don't have a clear picture of it? So goals are great, and goals do help us get a clearer picture. But what you really need to start doing is sitting back and taking time to say, this is my vision. This is where I want to be at the end of 2019. When you can say that to yourself and have a clear picture of where you want to be at the end of 2019, you can actually begin to go out and start making that happen. Now, I know you. Go
I know,
ahead.
because I'm like, yeah, and that's great, in theory. But the reality is, do we really do anything with it? And you have to be specific, and you have to write it down. Like I'm all about write it down, write it down. But Rita does goal stacking, and I'm living by my goal stacking,
Right.
and it's huge. And if you don't goal stack, how do you know what you're supposed to do today to get to your goal in 9, 10, 11 months? You have
But
no
see,
idea.
she had to have a clear picture of it first.
Get a coach.
Really.
Hire Rita, okay? Because it'll change your life. It'll change your business. Or invest. So really, when we're talking about investing, invest in yourself. Okay, if
Absolutely.
you really want to go and do and be who you want to be, and but you're just like, I don't even know. I know that this is who I want to be, but I don't even know where to begin. Hire a coach. Rita is crazy affordable, and she's amazing.
Too crazy for
We'll work on that. That's one of our 2019 goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
That she has an empowerment class for
Yes, I do.
$50 a month, and you're with other women who will support you and love you. It's well worth the investment in yourself, and it gives you clarity. It helps you focus, and we all help each other. What are our goals, and what do we need to get there? And I love it because it's such a sisterhood, and we work hard to help each other be successful.
Yeah, it's built on the class or it's not really a class, it's a mastermind, because we all input and we all kind of input and talk about helping each other get a clear vision of where we're going, what we want to do. And we do goal setting, and goal setting is very, very important. But one of the things that we start making goals before we see, let me give you an example. I have a few minutes, I'll give you an example. You want to lose weight, okay? You want to lose, say, 15 pounds, or you want to lose a certain amount of weight. Well, what do you want to look like when you get to the end of that way? What is your why? Our why is very, very important. Investing, if you were to invest, what would be your why? Why do you want to do that specific thing? The why is real important. If you wanted to lose a certain amount of weight, say you were getting married in May or whatever, you wanted to lose 20 pounds, you need to find yourself a picture and put your face on it of what you wanted to look like in that wedding dress, and put it up on your mirror so that every day your why is right in your face, so that when you get ready to eat that cookie, you say, oh, I remember that picture.
Make sure it's sugar-free and gluten-free.
Sugar-free, don't eat the cookie. Just
Don't listen to me. I'm a terrible influence.
Don't eat the cookie.
I'm always looking for the gray.
But that's okay. Every once in a while you can have a cookie. But when you get ready to put that cookie in your mouth, guess what's going to pop into your head? That picture of you on the mirror. you know, saying, oh, I want to fit into that dress. So it's real important to have a why when you start talking about moving forward, setting goals. But that vision, that picture on the mirror is your vision. See, that's the vision. That pulls you instead of really, you know how you get pushed by people, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. Your vision pulls you because it's your vision. And then you're not always having to be inundated with other people's concepts of what you should be doing.
And again, this is why the goal stacking is so important. If you wanted to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, what does that look like monthly?
Right.
What does that look like weekly? What does that look like
Daily.
Because you have to know what daily decisions to make to get to that goal. You can't wait till, you know, a week before that goal and be like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going to not eat cookies.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know months ahead of time, daily. This is the amount of calories I can have daily. This is how much water I need to drink daily. And then when you're, you know, near there and you've exceeded your goal, eat the cookie.
See, good coach. Good coachee, because now she is teaching, and that's what a coach does. A coach will really help you get a grasp on what you're doing, and learn it well enough so that you can go out and teach somebody else. You know, we give you a different perspective. People think, oh, what is a coach? What do they do? We give you a second perspective on things, and then we help you stay accountable to what you say you want to do. So, and I think that's part of what Happy Homes Now will do for you too. Say you decide you want to repair your credit or you want to sell your house. They will help you get a different perspective on how that can happen, and then help you be accountable by helping you work through the process. So again, don't sit back and say, well, I think I can do it by myself, and be so worried about telling other people what your issues are. If you don't share things, how can people help you? Okay? You in yourself, if you could do it yourself, you would have done it, correct? Okay. So you and yourself don't have all the answers, but together we do have a lot of answers, and that's what the mastermind that I run is built on. I bring ladies together, and then together we have a lot of answers for each other and ourselves. We find different perspectives. We talk about different things. We actually talk about our personal communication, okay? What you say to yourself.
What do you think?
Yeah, what are you thinking about? And what you think about comes right out of here. And remember this one thing about talking, self-talk. What you say to yourself is what you're going to believe, because you're always right. In fact, you will make sure that you do things to prove that you were right. So say the good things.
Say the wonderful
things. Say the
things.
affirmations.
Put
Say
them
the
on
things
your
you want.
bathroom mirror.
Yeah,
so you are
the things
forced
you
to
want.
look at them every day.
You want the things you want to happen and who you want to be. Say those things, because then what you speak about, you will actually go out and make happen. You'll make that true. So if you say, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm a great investor, or whatever it is that you work or whatever, or I'm financially sound. Just start saying that, and then the universe will help you also, but people will start coming into your path that can help you reach those goals. It's
empowering.
It's kind of woo-woo too,
but again, when you think good things about yourself, then you stand up taller,
yes,
you smile, you have color, like people are gravitated towards you, they want to be around you, and it's just, who wants to feel like crap all the time? You're constantly filling your head with junk, and so fill it with good things, fill it with positivity and love yourself, and say wonderful things, because even if nobody else does, as long as you're doing it, it makes all the difference.
Right. And who's going to? If you don't, who's going to? See, what we do is we teach the world how to treat us. We teach people around us how to treat us. So if you're speaking things about yourself that are sabotaging you, you're telling them how to treat you. Okay, so say no. I'm a happy person. I'm great today. I'm fantastic. I have all the resources that I need to get done what I need to get done. Speak what you want, and the world will gravitate to that. It's like I know sometimes it's woo-woo, but sometimes we need some woo-woo in our life. We have to stop being so logical all the time and begin to nurture the spirit within us. And that's what affirmations do, and that's what talking about who you want to be and your greatness, your own greatness. That's what that does for you.
And I think it's only woo-woo when it really doesn't work. I think that it works. I mean, I can tell you that it works. And I think that when it works, that's scientific somewhere.
It is scientific. I've done research on it, and it is scientific about what the brain, what you do with your brain, what you do when you speak to yourself, because when you speak to yourself, you hear it first. And your voice is the strongest voice in your life, okay? And so when you hear that voice, you are going to follow that voice first. And I know people say, "Oh, you know, I'm a Christian woman," and people will say, "Oh, I'm following the voice of the Holy Spirit," or "I'm following God's voice." Sometimes it's yours. It's your voice because you're hearing it first. And God may not have said that about you, but you did. He said, "Oh, you know, I'm tired." If you say to yourself, "I'm tired," guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel tired because you just told yourself that's what you want. Okay, so it's really hit me up on Facebook and DM me or whatever, and I will take the time to talk to you about it. But it's really, this is the beginning of 2019. Make something new happen. Contact Jennifer at Happy Homes Now if you have credit problems, or if you have a home that you can't afford anymore, or it's really a burden on you, or it's kind of run down and you would like to move, but you don't know what to do. If you want to invest, contact them. Just talk to them. You know,
if you just want to know what your options are. You don't have to. It's not like we're gonna,
stick
strong
you down
arm you into making a decision.
Right.
Sometimes you just need information, and that's okay. We are so happy to give it. We love what we do, and we love educating. So we're always happy to talk to somebody. And real quick, Rita, is there still room in your empowerment?
I have 4 slots left in my empowerment class. I'm working on a specific model, and I'm only taking 12 people, and I have 4 slots left in that particular class. So if you're interested, DM me real soon, because once we have our first. The way I run it is we have Zoom, we have a membership site with information on there that you work during the month. We have Zoom meetings. We have a Zoom call last night.
It was good.
Where we all got on there and talked about what our progress was. And then at the end of the month, we have a dinner where I also will teach some information, and we'll look at everybody's work that they've done over the month and talk about it. And so I still have some slots in that. If you're interested, you need to get on that right away.
Sign up so we can be in the same class.
Yeah, you need to get on that right away. And we're not just talking about the personal woo-woo stuff. I am talking about, I also talk about marketplace stuff and how to do your website, how to talk about what you want other people to think about you, and how to put your business together. So we're doing some of that too. I'm going to have guests come in and talk to us about how to do Facebooks and put in ads and get all that stuff up. So it's a 6-month program. And within that 6 months, you will make tremendous progress. I know, because I'm committed to you and your progress more than I am to, you know, just doing other things. That course is very, very dear to my heart because I get my hands in there and work with ladies, and I really enjoy that.
We're a ton of fun.
Yeah,
We're so much fun.
Really,
You will have a blast.
We cut up a lot. So if you're interested in more, if you want more information, go to RitaMonroe.com. Right on my front page, it talks to you about some of the things that I do. There is a change your reality process on there that you can read about, and then the empowerment is on there, and also a course that I have, a brand new online virtual course that I have going. It's on there too. You can find me on there. Again, I'm on Facebook a lot, so DM me on Facebook. Anything else you want to tell them before we shut up?
Just, you know, if you have any questions, want to talk about options on anything, the credit repair, buying, selling, investing, just give me a call, DM me. Our number is 512-609-0097, and we are nationwide, so it doesn't have to be here in Texas. We will go anywhere in the nation.
Right. If you have a parent or someone in another place that really has some issues with their home, contact her. I'm going to put her information in the comments below this video, so you'll have it. I'll put my information on there, her information on there, and that way you'll have it, you know, call her. So, gosh, I just want you to understand that your mental, your emotional, and your actual physical energy are so important to your power. Okay, without those things, you have no power. So I'm all about the power. Get your personal power ramped up, revamp it, redesign it, refine it, and get moving on something great in 2019. Do something great. It's in you. Do it. Again, I'm Rita Monroe, life change strategist and coach for women, best-selling author. Check out my books on, it's on my Facebook, on my website also. So we're going to say goodbye. I hope to see you in 2 weeks again. I'm not sure what the show will be, but it'll be interesting. So thank you for watching, and good night. Good morning.
It's dark
good
outside.
Afternoon.
It's a really,
yeah,
it feels like nighttime.
Yeah, it does. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.